Greetings, mighty companions, and welcome back to Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles with Duck Winds.
Anna and Greg.
In the house.
What?
Talking about how to apply miracle principles to all of our relationships. That's right, it's a thing. And it does produce miracles.
And it works.
And it works. That's the most amazing thing about it.
Yep. Imagine that. A miracle happens and you go, oh, it worked.
It actually worked.
Wow.
I did what the Course in Miracles said to do, and it actually worked.
What a concept.
What a concept. And that's why Greg and I do A Course in Miracles. We are very busy and have a million things going on, and we would not give as much time and devotion to this if it didn't work. That's why we're here. It
Right.
certainly isn't for the money.
Right. And it keeps us grounded.
Yes.
You know, if we don't stay grounded, constant
In the truth.
in truth,
Mm-hmm.
then our split personality that likes to be independent, you know the one, I certainly do.
Mm-hmm. We all
Anna
got it.
does, that likes to be independent, my way or the highway, let me be the interpreter of all things, let me be the corrector of how it should be.
Yes.
You know, the writer of the script,
Yeah.
the creator.
Yeah, God.
We want to be God, basically.
Yes, the ego
because
does.
That would be pretty awesome, to be the one in control. When little do we know is that God's own self isn't controlling anything, evident by where we're at right now.
Hello. Hello. Beautiful. And today's lesson is in terms of a section for application to relationships, this one is right there at the top because it's talking about anger and attack and how we have reacted for years as if we were being persecuted. And we all act like that in our relationships, right? You know, when we're in our relationships, we're like, "You can't look what they're doing to me. Look what look what you made me do." Right. And so, the title of this chapter 6, is the lessons of love. So, we want to talk about love. What is real love? What does love say? What does love do? But the first section it starts off with is the message of the crucifixion, which is really the message or the teaching available through attack. You know, so, you know, once you understand the true nature of attack and what's the purpose of attack and what happens when you attack, then you can get to the lessons of love, right? So first we're going to start with what is fear, what is anger, what is attack, and what conditions have to be present for attack and anger to occur.
And tonight we're going to talk about the word attack as a real thing, as if we can be attacked.
Exactly.
What a concept to believe that. It just shows me how far away I am from the finish line.
Yes, me too.
You know, when I think that I can't be attacked. It's kind of like you were saying, you know, talking about the safety of our own home.
Yeah.
You know, we're always looking at our lives, whether it's in our relationships or our life in general, as how can I be attacked?
Yes.
And therefore, how must I defend in order to keep what? My peace, my happiness. I have to defend all the time to keep that.
Yes.
Because attack can, what? Take that away from me.
Exactly.
But what if we came to a state of awareness, of understanding, of the actual truth? This isn't a made-up ponytail here, that we have the ability, just like our teacher, to show that attack has no effect on me. Because I cannot be attacked.
Exactly. And where is it that we tend to feel attacked most often?
In our relationships.
In our relationships. Yeah. In our relationships. And so, you know, so this topic about attack relative to our relationships is very it can be very liberating if we do it. I love it. Demi says, I'm doing my yoga. Love it. Love it. I love doing yoga, listening to truth. So, way to love yourself, Demi. All right, so we're going to talk about the message of the crucifixion. So the author here is going to talk about this story that is in the consciousness of the entire planet. There was a story that happened, the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus, and it's a story that has made it into the entire consciousness of the entire planet. And it's a story that's been so misinterpreted that as to be the story that justifies attack. And the author is saying that is not the interpretation of it that our teacher wants us to have of that story, that experience. And that if we understand that experience called the crucifixion through the author's eyes, then it has a lot to teach us about our role as teachers and healers. So, we're teachers and healers, but that doesn't mean that we have mastered it. We still have a lot to understand about our own role as a teacher. Mm-hmm. And now we believe that our role as a teacher involves being attacked, mm-hmm. or somehow making a sacrifice for the good of others. Well, that is a misinterpretation of your role as a teacher that our teacher in this section hopes to clarify. All right. So it's chapter 6, section 1, the message of the crucifixion. It says, the relationship of anger to attack is obvious. Right? That's right. When you're angry, you attack. But the inevitable association of anger and fear is not always so clear. Anger always involves projection of separation. I'll say that again. Anger always involves projection of separation. Separation, which must ultimately be accepted as entirely one's own responsibility.
Good.
Woo! Can I get a
Yeah, own responsibilities.
Yes, exactly. And so every time I'm angry, it's because I'm projecting the cause of my problem. I'm projecting my own belief in separation. Every time I'm angry. Anger always involves projection of the separation that I did. And if I want to be healed of the anger and all the anger's effects, I have to accept entirely responsibility for the separation, the upset that I am projecting with anger onto another.
Yeah, because until I realize where the problem's coming from, the problem can never possibly be healed. Because until then, I'm going to think that you need to take responsibility mm-hmm. for my anger.
Yes.
After all, mm-hmm.
After all, your anger is justified.
And that's the cleverness yes. of the ego. You know why the yes. ego is so clever is because we as children of God are very clever. We're very smart.
We were created by an unlimited mind.
Yeah, and so we created this very, mm-hmm. very cunning, clever concept mm-hmm. wherein it's like we're always throwing the distraction, like over there, mm-hmm. and we hear the noise and we look that way. Mm-hmm. And then it's over there, and yes. The distraction is constantly coming from the ego of try to fix it over here in yes. your partner
yes.
outside of you.
Yes.
That's where she needs to take responsibility
mm-hmm. for your anger.
For this anger that yes. I'm experiencing.
Right.
And then we spend all of our time trying to fix mm-hmm. it where the problem is not at.
Exactly.
The problem's over here, not over there, and that's the cleverness of the ego is always getting us to fetch the bone where the bone's not at.
Exactly.
We never will find it. We're never going to find the solution to that problem where it's not at. And so this, self-accountability is such a big one. It's like, I don't want to take self-accountability because then it starts bringing into question the anger.
Yes.
Or whatever the grievance or whatever the story is, because now I have to be accountable for it. Like the time you told me, rightly so, we create anchors in our life, and we call them relationships sometimes, so that because we're afraid of going out into the deep of our calling of what God has called us to do here. It terrifies us. We don't think we're ready for it. It's like, it's sort of like in the movie Chosen when he sent them out there like, I've only watched one sermon so far. I don't think I'm really qualified to go do anything yet. And they're all laughing, going, well, you heard the best one, But the thing is it's not by our merit anyway. Yes. It's not by our words anyway. And so anyway, this whole self-responsibility thing.
Yeah, for our anger, It says anger always involves projection of the cause of the problem. Okay.
Never our fault.
It's never our fault.
Ever.
Anger is always a projection of the fault, Right. Somebody else is making me feel this way. And if you knew that you were making yourself feel that way, then you wouldn't be angry, right? So he's saying anger and what's causing the anger must ultimately be accepted entirely as one's own responsibility, So, wow. That's really, and then it says something equally hard to believe about anger. Are you ready? Okay. First it said anger always involves projection of the problem. And then it said, and ultimately I have to accept responsibility for causing being the cause of that anger, my interpretation, my perception. Then it says, anger cannot occur unless you, number one, believe that you have been attacked, and number two, that the attack was totally unjust, it was unfair, and number three, that you are in no way responsible for that attack that happened to you, says you. Those are, given these three completely irrational premises, then the equally irrational conclusion that someone is worthy of attack rather than of love follows.
And in our relationships, how many times do we start off with, of course, the reason we're angry at the other person in the relationship, whether it be our boss, our co-worker, our mate at home, our brother, sister.
That's our premise. That's our belief.
Yeah, but it starts out always, of course, as, they did something, and that something was intentional to start an attack on me. Right. Or I wouldn't be angry.
That's right.
That's what makes us so angry.
Is that
I would never attack you. You're my sister, or you're my wife, or you're my father, or you're my cousin.
Yeah, right.
You're my coworker. You're my boss. I would never attack you.
Right, wow.
I can't believe that you attacked me. That's and to top it off, that I did nothing. It was totally unjustified.
I've only had totally loving thoughts about you and everyone else for all
everything
time.
that I've been doing has been thinking about the whole.
I've only given love.
You're just thinking selfishly about you only, not about me and my feelings. And this is unjust. And of course I'm not going to take responsibility for it because it's obvious it's your fault. Yes.
So you can see when it says that's completely insane. That's completely irrational. To say I am in no way responsible for that attack is also to say, because I've given only love all the time to everyone. Right? Well, that's obvious that that's not the case. Just ask just live with somebody for a little while, and you'll see that is definitely not true. But it says, so those are the three things that you have to believe. Those are the three completely insane and irrational beliefs or premises you have to believe before you can get angry. So being angry is not a spontaneous thing that happens to you. There were some beliefs you had to have accepted as true before you could even get angry. It doesn't just happen to you out of the blue. It's not something that happens to you. It's not like anger jumps out of a tree and jumps on your back and you will and holds a gun to your head and says you will feel angry. Anger is the result of insane premises, and that somebody is worthy of attack is the insane conclusion of those beliefs and those promises. It's really, really deep, because it does seem so totally and completely seems like anger is something that happens to us unconsciously. Just it happened to me.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Like a T-bone where you're just driving down and all of a sudden sometimes they say they don't even know what happened to them. That's how fast it happened.
Yes, right, exactly.
It had nothing to do with it.
That's right. And this is saying that not only did your anger not happen out of the blue because of something that they did, how they attacked you, but really that your anger was something that happened as a result of some false beliefs you had and projected onto others. That's deep. That's really deep. So that's the truth about anger. Okay, anger requires three things. What are those three things?
You got to feel like you've been attacked.
That's right.
You've got to feel like the attack was unjust.
Completely unfair.
Uncalled for.
Totally uncalled for.
And number three, that I did nothing to deserve that. I had no responsibility in it. It's just sideswiping
Exactly.
me. I can't, it's beyond me how they even did that.
Because you've given only love all the time to everyone.
Right.
Beautiful. So basically the belief, the idea that somebody deserves your attack after you've been attacked, that is insane. That is the conclusion of insane premises. So
I want to say real quick, I just realized it actually breaks the laws of spiritual physics and the giving and receiving. How would you be receiving something back if you had not given it?
Right, gotcha, exactly.
So
yes,
it breaks that, just the fact that you're receiving this, not
this attack,
whatever,
whatever
attack,
it is,
whatever kabillion, slices of the cake we make it to be, the attack. We never put it together that we fully have something to do with that. That's why we're getting that experience into our life.
Exactly.
If we truly have only given love, then we would only experience love back.
Yes.
No matter what's happening. It doesn't matter what's going on around us. Our experience would be the experience of love.
Yes.
Because it's all we've given.
Exactly.
We wouldn't perceive anything as an attack. Even if the whole world is saying, hey, they're attacking you.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What? No.
Yeah. And then you would rise above, even if it was the whole world attacking you. If you didn't see yourself as being able to be attacked, then whatever the world tries to do to you won't work.
Yeah.
Even unto death, it won't work. Yes. Beautiful. Tricia says, that's how my insanity attacks the willing. Hi, Shio. And then Tricia says, I made it out of the orchard. I am here. It's a miracle. Hi, Jorge. Lovely to see you.
And I think that might be George from class.
It is.
Today.
It
Wonderful.
is. Yeah. Yeah, I always read that as Jorge. Yeah. So, but the Jorge is the Spanish pronunciation of George.
I see.
So for a while I was like, who's Jorge? And he's like, that's me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Okay. So.
All right. So we got the 3, and that's what I love again about the course. You know, you were talking about application. Application. And the course is so good at giving application. Here we're getting 3 simple steps, you know, 3, 8, 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. So that next time you experience anger, you are going to go, anger. Anger means what? What was it? It starts with a P. Projection. Okay. Are you saying this is my projection of something that I...
Separation.
Yeah, that I myself have done. Okay, great. So, and then we don't want to forget the first premise of that you have to believe before you can get angry is that you have been attacked. That I've been attacked. That my anger comes from my belief that I have been attacked.
And when we're going through this ritual, if we're doing the application, we're going to agree. Yeah, I have been attacked. Right. I'm glad that's been recognized.
But he said that's a false premise.
I know. But
yeah, I know, exactly.
At first we'll be... Yeah. We have all the evidence.
Yeah, we're gonna be resistant against the first principle.
But I have been attacked.
Exactly. All my friends agree.
Yeah.
All my friends agree. You know. Hi, Tricia. We're in chapter 6, section 1.
Yeah.
And the message of the crucifixion.
Yeah, and I have lots of friends.
And they all agree that I have been attacked by this person.
He was on the news.
He was even on the news.
Locally,
that makes it official.
Neighborhood.
That makes it official.
Yeah.
I know I've been attacked because it was on the nightly news, honey.
Yeah.
If it bleeds, it leads. So
That's right.
I know. So the first thing that you have to have believed if you're angry to get angry is that you have been attacked. You know, and that the attack was totally not fair, wasn't justified, and that you were in no way responsible for that attack.
And I want to point out also, here we are again, because I'm really seeing this a lot in the course, is that word believe. You don't know
you've been attacked.
That you have been attacked.
You believe
you believe that you have been attacked.
Yes.
And again, what I love about the word belief is changeable.
Right.
You can change one belief to another belief. You can't change what is true, what knowledge is. And so you don't have knowledge that you've been attacked.
Right.
When you're angry, when we're angry, we need to think about that. I have a belief that I have been attacked. If we say it to ourselves like that, then at least for me, it quickens my mind to remember that, and my belief could be wrong.
Exactly.
You know, if I tell myself I have a belief when I'm angry, you know, I have a belief that I've been attacked, and then quickly that brings the whole story into question now.
Exactly. Even just saying that to yourself opens up that false premise to question. And that is
what the course is about.
And that's what the whole course is about, getting you to question your beliefs.
The ego doesn't want us to question our beliefs.
No.
And as soon as you start out your premise like that, I have a belief.
A belief.
So now I'm questioning it. Because that's why I'm talking to myself about it, that I have been attacked.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, you would say to somebody who's attacked, who's angry, you believe you've been attacked. And they'll be like, I don't believe I've been attacked, I know I've been attacked.
Yeah, let me tell you.
No, you don't know you've been attacked, you believe you've been attacked. And how do we know that it's only a belief? Because we know that the truth is that who you are can't be attacked. So if you perceive you are been attacked, that's a belief, because it's not possible that who you really are.
Yeah, if you knew something, you would know that you had not been attacked.
And where is it that we most frequently believe that we have been attacked?
totally in our relationships.
In our relationships, you know. And so what would happen, what kind of transformation would happen in your relationships if you knew you could not be attacked?
Right.
Like, that would be a sea change. That would make for a complete transformation of your relationship.
A game changer.
That would be total 100% game changer. If you knew that you could not be attacked, you know, which is the same as saying that who I am, which created by God, could not be changed by, you know, what people think of me. You know, that's what it means to say I cannot be attacked. It means what you think of me or do to me does not change who I am as created by God. That's what that means. And we're going to get into that. Okay, so paragraph 2 says, so if anger is the result of insane premises or beliefs, then what can be accepted from insane beliefs except an insane conclusion? So anger is based on insane premises, and attack is the insane conclusion. Okay? So how do you undo an insane conclusion? The way you undo an insane conclusion, like somebody deserves attack, is always to consider the sanity of the premises on which the conclusion that somebody's worthy of attack rests. So, what's the conclusion? What's the insane conclusion? They deserve my attack because of the premises that I have believed. And so, the only way to undo the insane conclusion that somebody deserves attack is to question the premises that make you conclude that they deserve to be attacked back. Okay.
Again, questioning it.
Questioning the insane conclusion. I've been attacked. That's my premise. That's my belief. And then my conclusion is you deserve attack back. Okay? That's insane.
This is one of the way back out of the desert.
Yes, exactly.
If you're in the desert, which is where you're at when you're angry, you're in a dry place. You're not in a happy place.
And lonely.
Yeah, and you're seeing illusions, mirages, and like Anna said, you're feeling lonely, but you're okay with it.
You're happy to be alone.
You deserve a break from all of the idiots, you know.
Exactly. So for a moment, you're okay with the loneliness that you experience in the desert of the anger. For a moment, you're like, yeah, I like being alone. I like not having to ask for permission or do this or do that. I like being in the desert alone with my anger for a little while. and then all of a sudden you're like, I think I'm lonely. You know.
But the way out of that desert is questioning.
Yes.
Asking lots of questions.
Of your anger.
Yeah, of your anger. And, you know, because that's what got you there.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have to start questioning it. You don't just keep blindly following it.
Yeah.
Like a dummy, not asking any questions, like it's in charge of you.
Exactly.
You're just following your anger around blindlessly around the forest, hitting every tree that comes along, and having every tree branch poking the eye.
Exactly.
I would, you know, that's
not
painful.
sane. That's not sane.
I would stop in that pain
and be like,
and look at the commander-in-chief that's leading me.
Do you know where you're
and
going?
Hey, it seems like it's getting worse. You know, I started following you yesterday, and I'm more ticked off than I was than yesterday. And so it doesn't seem like this is getting happier or better.
Right.
I'd like to have a little question.
Yeah, I need to I
need to get some questions answered.
Exactly. And that's what we do. We instead of questioning anger, we just go, okay, anger, you know, just leave me wherever you want to take me, anger. We never...
Even if it kills me.
Even if it kills me.
I'll follow you.
I'll follow you,
and
anger.
Probably will.
Exactly. And when we're angry and somebody is helping us to question our anger, we want to kill them.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you?
Not listen
how dare you help me to question my anger, like as if my anger isn't justified. How dare you? I thought you loved me. The last thing.
Their side.
Exactly. The last thing we want to do when we're angry is to question our own anger. But that's like Greg was saying. To not question your anger is to not question a guide who is literally taking you over a cliff.
Yeah.
You want to question a guide who's taking you over a cliff.
Yeah.
Who's also like trusting your anger and not questioning your anger is like following a blind guide right over a cliff and not asking a single question. Because that is what your anger is, and that is where it's taking you. It's blind and it's taking you over a cliff. Mm-hmm. And so so the practice here that we're learning in A Course in Miracles is how to look at the premise of our anger and also to question it, and then also to take responsibility for it.
And as we say, the captain, leader, anger that's leading the way,
the blind guide,
is so tricky because its evidence seems so tangible,
doesn't it? It's so convincing.
It's so convincing, this evidence that, and the reason it's getting worse since yesterday morning, since I came with my captain anger, is because as I have followed captain anger, captain anger has shown me more things to be angry about.
Reminded
to
you
support my evidence. I just started out with a tiny bit of
little
anger
grievance.
evidence.
Tiny.
And then my anger evidence grew to where I just want to strangle this person.
Yes, it grew like, well, remember how they've always done this. Remember how they did this 5 years ago? Remember how they did that 2 years ago? Your anger guide keeps showing you more and more things from the past to justify your anger.
And that's why it's so clever, because it feels and seems so right, like you're on the right side of the picket line.
Yes,
I'm fighting for something that's right.
Justified. My anger is justified.
This is not right.
Exactly. My anger is justified.
And it would be unright for me not to say something about this and come out and start a fight with that person.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that person needs to learn. I guess I'm the one that teaches.
I guess so. All right. So then it says, but the truth is, the way to undo an insane conclusion, which is that somebody deserves to be attacked back.
And to be an insane conclusion is to be led by a lie.
Yes.
Because what happened isn't the way you saw it anyway.
Exactly. And so the way to undo an insane conclusion that somebody deserves attack back is always to consider the sanity of the premise on which your vengeance rests. So,
the premise.
Exactly. So the insane conclusion is they deserve vengeance, and the insane premise that led to that conclusion is I've been attacked. Okay. And so we've got to consider the sanity of the premises on which the conclusion that they deserve my vengeance is rest. So here's the truth. Okay. The truth is you cannot be attacked. And the truth is attack has no justification. And number 3, you are responsible for what you believe.
What you believe.
Which is that you've been attacked. You're responsible for the belief that you've been attacked. So it's like you're not responsible for the attack, you're responsible for your belief that you have been attacked.
And notice what you believe. Mm-hmm. This isn't what heaven believes.
That's right.
This isn't what your higher loving self believes.
Yeah.
This isn't what your comforter, your helper, Holy Spirit believes.
Yeah.
This isn't what Gabriel, your angel, believes. Mm-hmm. This is what you believe. And so because it's your belief, who else would take responsibility for it but you?
Right.
And that belief, and the Course is right. I have a belief that I can be attacked.
Right, and
I demonstrate it every week. I'm always going through these demonstrations, of how 101 ways I can be attacked in a day, not a week.
Right, how you believe you can be attacked.
Yeah, how I believe. And so my belief strengthens that idea, and so I think I'm experiencing that idea more and more. It's not until I give up the idea, the concept, that my experience starts to change because my belief changes. But right now, the Course is being hard to the bone, honest with us. This is that stuff that's hard to hear, but if you hear it, it will be, like Anna was saying, a game changer.
A game changer.
It's a guaranteed game changer. Once you take this seriously and get it real, that your belief is everything. Your belief is, we were talking about this on the ride home from this afternoon's class, that the belief is like, I can't tell you how it works, but I can tell you from just watching it's working, that whatever we believe is creating everything around us. And if we think that we
have been attacked,
that we can be attacked,
then we're gonna
experience, because now we're gonna be looking for it to support our belief. We want our belief to be supported and validated, and so we have to go out into the world that we have, which is the evidence we have to work with, and find the evidence that will support my claim that I am vulnerable. I can be attacked. Look at what Anna just did to me this morning. Come on, she attacked. And how did she do that? Because I can be attacked. Not knowing that the responsibility part is in me believing in the whole concept of I can be attacked. But I can't be attacked. She wasn't attacking me. I could never be attacked, even if it appeared that I am being attacked. But my belief in it is making it real to me because I believe in it. And so not only do I believe it's real, I'm always looking for it.
And what you're looking for, you're going to find.
What you're seeking, what you're looking for, you're going to find it, guaranteed.
Even if it's not real.
Even if it's not real, you'll make it.
You'll imagine that you saw it and that it's real. So I love it. So the truth here is that you cannot be attacked. When it says you cannot be attacked, it means who you really are. Who you really are cannot be changed by what somebody thinks of you. Who you are cannot be changed just because somebody judges you or misperceives you. You cannot, the real you, not your body, but you, the real you, cannot be attacked. And if you cannot be attacked, then your attack back, your retaliation, has no justification, and you are responsible for what you believe about how you can be attacked, even though you can't be attacked. Wow, that is absolutely 100% a 100% game changer, sea change of your experience in the world. Okay, I mean, come on, what if you truly believed that you could not be attacked? What would happen in your relationships? Do you think, oh, well, then everybody would take advantage of me if I thought I could not be attacked? But notice it doesn't say if you thought you could be attacked. It's like if you knew you couldn't be attacked. But you would, in your relationships, if you knew you couldn't be attacked, then you wouldn't be looking for attack, and you wouldn't be experiencing attack in your relationships. You'd be experiencing something else. Even
when you're being attacked by the world standard, you'd be too naive looking for goodness and for love and for mercy and for kindness to be distracted, to be looking for attack, to see it. Just like believe it or not, we're so distracted right now looking for bad, evil, harm, destruction, sin, that we are distracted from seeing what all the good that is happening.
Yes.
And it's the same thing. We're just flip-flopped right now. We're on the side that we're always looking for how I can be attacked. Because what? I haven't taken responsibility that I have a belief. I have a belief
in attack.
An attack.
And a desire.
That I can attack and that I can be attacked.
Right.
I own that belief.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've been taught that belief by other people who believe they could be attacked.
Exactly.
And it's been strengthened because so many people believe that concept that now it's easiest. It feels at ease to be settled into the belief I can be attacked because the whole world believes in it. I would be the idiot if I didn't believe it.
I would be the weird one.
The weird one.
Exactly.
Of course I can be attacked. We all can be. You can be. I can be. We're going to be attacked. But the Course is saying something so radical. Can you imagine the original messenger of this coming along and teaching a message that you cannot be attacked of people that are under heavy Roman oppression or heavy government oppression or oppression of any kind in your relationship.
Which is there's a lot of oppression is very popular around this planet.
And could you imagine coming into town and teaching this message that you can't be attacked? Everybody would count you as the biggest weirdo in the world. Of course you can be attacked.
I'm pretty sure that's why the author came back through a book.
I'm sure.
You know.
We'll show you if you can't be attacked.
Oh, you can't be attacked?
All right, let's see if you can't be.
And that's the story of this teacher who is
he wanted to demonstrate that he could not be attacked. And they did try to and demonstrate that he could be.
Even unto killing him. And and so we have a model and a teacher who did choose to allow himself to be attacked in the most brutal way, even unto death, to demonstrate to us what he's saying, that you cannot be attacked. That even if somebody kills your body, they are not attacking, they are not killing you. And that's what it's saying here. That even when someone kills your body, they're not killing you. Why? Because you are not your body. So the truth is that I cannot be attacked because I'm not this body. I'm not something that can be attacked. I'm not something that can be killed. And that is what our teacher is trying to teach us and has been trying to teach us for a very long time. I love it. Irene says, a radical thought indeed, you cannot be attacked. The ultimate in radical ideas, Okay, great. So now the author of the Course is now, who has been through a crucifixion experience where it seemed that people were seriously attacking him.
Yeah. Okay. It's like if they weren't attacking him, then who could ever be?
Exactly. And if that wasn't an attack, then certainly what my partner did today, I can't consider myself as being attacked. I mean, did he, betray me, abandon me, beat me, tear me, and then murder me? No. Okay, well, if that wasn't an attack, then certainly him not speaking to me today is not an attack either. And that's the point of what our teacher is trying to communicate here about attack. It's like, I want to show you that even the worst attack as the world judges it, I did not perceive myself as attacked, and it did not kill me. It did not change me at all. And I want you to see that, so that when you're tempted to perceive yourself as attacked, when somebody, whatever, makes a face you don't like, that you can go, I could not be attacked under much less difficult circumstances. Okay. So our teacher says, you have been asked to take me as your model for learning. And we have said that an extreme example is a particularly helpful learning device. The truth is that everyone teaches and teaches all the time. That's the truth. And teaching is a responsibility which you assume inevitably the moment you accept any premises at all. And no one can organize their life without any thought system. So the minute that you accept any beliefs, then you're going to be teaching them. The minute you adopt a belief, you're going to be demonstrating that.
Yeah.
That's a given. You know, and nobody can organize their life without any belief system or any thought system.
And what is it that you're going to be teaching? You're going to be teaching what you inwardly
believe
with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's the altar call of altar calls, that you believe this. You believe it with all your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to teach. You can just look at anybody's life and you can see what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how they feel that they are vulnerable, how they can be attacked, you know, all the things that aren't true. And you and I sit there and go, but isn't it true though? Isn't it that way? I mean, look at their life. I would be lonely if I was like that. Well, they're experiencing to the degree of what they believe. They believe in that loneliness. They believe in that abandonment.
Yeah.
They believe in that
attack.
In that I'll forsake you and leave you.
Yes. They believe they could be attacked.
It wasn't the story that did it to them.
It was their belief.
It was their belief.
Exactly.
You know,
I love that.
I've been through a couple of divorces. I just realized this. And of course, it's the other person's fault.
Always.
I don't know if I need to explain why to you. Let's just take my word.
We all know, we all believe that those divorces were somebody else's fault. We all do.
Well, mine is that way.
Oh,
but
okay.
Anyway.
But everybody else only believes it, but it's knowledge for you. Okay, gotcha.
But anyway,
yes.
I've had a couple divorces, and I just realized I have a belief that not God would abandon me, but God has abandoned me.
Yeah, exactly.
That God has divorced me.
Yes.
I mean, there's some scripture that even talk about how God will
cast you out.
Will divorce His people.
Yeah, and cast you out.
Yeah,
yes.
And so I have felt like God has left, and I've told God at times in my life where I'm like, well, there you are after all these years, you finally come back. Why did you leave me back then?
Why did you abandon me?
Why did it go silent?
Why did you attack me, God?
Yeah. And so then we don't put it together, you know, that what it says here, we project out into our experience, out into the world. Oh, look I'm having an experience of abandonment, of separation, of forsaking.
Yes.
And I don't put it together that I believe in that. I'm the one.
Yeah,
I
not
am
God.
the one, not
God.
And so because I'm the one that has that belief, and I'm so brilliant, not bragging, I really am, in truth, that I create a situation where I'm going to be abandoned, I'm going to have this happen to me, I'm going to have that happen to me, and to the point that I am going to climb up on a ladder and break this part of my body or whatever, because I have a belief that I'm vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so I'll constantly be putting myself in situations, into positions, into relationships that will fulfill my beliefs. They're going to validate what I believe.
That you can be attacked.
And if I believe that God would leave me alone, that I would be alone in loneliness and utter darkness, then I could experience that in my world. And then I'm going to blame it on, you know, the family that left me, the job that fired me, and the
God that rejected
surgery
me.
that took all my money, and now I'm under a bridge alone. But I'm not taking any responsibility of the problem, which isn't the job, it's not the family, it's not any of those circumstances, but it is the belief. Therein is the cause of that experience.
Exactly.
And we don't want to get to that. We're too distracted by trying to fix, our blanket under the bridge, trying to fix the situation that isn't that's not causing it.
And project the cause.
Right.
I love it. George says, Greg, you are special.
George, I love you, brother.
Yeah, and George also says, the guiltless mind cannot suffer. Amen to that. And Irene says, so it's a call for love or healing. Yes, it is. Beautiful. I love it. And Irene says, I'm the one that created separation anxiety, depression, because I separated myself from God. Take responsibility for that. Amen to that. Beautiful.
See, George knows I was in those divorce deals. He recognizes my personality and that I had to have been right. Of course, yes. He recognized that in both of those divorces, it was, it was, your anger was justified. Totally.
So, and beautiful. So he's your bud.
Yeah.
All right. So it says, now once you have developed a thought system or a belief system of any kind, you're going to live by that belief system. And you're going to demonstrate it. You're going to teach it. So the minute that you adopt a belief, you are going to demonstrate it. You are going to teach it. That's the way it is.
You're going to be looking for the evidence.
Exactly.
And that evidence is going to
exactly
be, look what they did to me.
Exactly.
That's your teaching.
That's exactly right. As soon as you believe something, you're going to be teaching it, which means demonstrating it, which means looking for the evidence for it. And whatever evidence you're looking for, you're going to find, even if you have to make it up.
Imagine if you could see with these spiritual eyes, you have these spiritual glasses you walk around with, and you're in this room, and you can see like, I don't know, like a crown above everybody's head that has these words that are just circling their crown, and it's what their belief is. I believe that God wants to fight me. And you're going, oh my gosh, get away from that person. Because they're not going to take any responsibility for their belief. And they're going to look for a fight so they can validate that God would want to fight.
Yes.
And all these different beliefs swirling around people's heads would terrify us.
Yes.
If we could see what's really going on. Thank God we can't.
But you can see, if you want to, what someone believes on the first date or the first time you hang out with them. You can, if you're listening and watching, you can see exactly what they believe, because exactly what they believe is what they're going to be demonstrating. And so let's say you're hanging out with somebody at a coffee shop. That person at the coffee shop is going to be demonstrating what they believe. And you don't have to wait for a year, you don't have to wait for a week, you don't have to wait for a month, you don't have to wait for a year. You don't have to wait till you're married to that person to see what they believe, because they're going to be demonstrating what they believe. Even the first time that you meet them. Let's say you go to a coffee shop, and as soon, you're going to see what they believe by how they treat everybody in that coffee shop. Right? So, watch how they treat other people, because they are always teaching and demonstrating what they believe. So don't say, well, they deceived me and they fooled me. No, they didn't. They were always demonstrating and teaching what they believed, but you didn't want to see it. You didn't want to see it. But because people are always demonstrating, they're always teaching what they believe. And if you know that, then all it takes is 5 minutes with that person to see what they believe. It doesn't take long at all. It's like, oh, I didn't see any red flags, That's because you don't understand that everything that somebody believes is what they are going to be demonstrating, right? To everyone. It's not like, whatever it is you believe, you're going to be demonstrating wherever you are, whether it's at the coffee shop or Home Depot or in a relationship or whatever.
And whether you're aware of it or not.
Yeah, whether you're aware of it or not, you are broadcasting. Every moment you are broadcasting what you believe, and we think we're such geniuses of disguise. Like, well, nobody knows what I really believe. Nobody knows that I'm really angry and pissed off and resentful. Nobody knows that. Ha ha ha! I've got them fooled. That's what we think. The truth is that we're broadcasting in every moment all that we believe, and anybody who has eyes to see can take one look at us and know exactly what we believe. Mm-hmm. And if we have eyes to see, literally can look at somebody and know what they believe. We don't have to wait, we don't have to wait to find out. We're always broadcasting. We're always demonstrating what we believe in every moment, right? We think we're hiding. We think we're deceiving others, like if they only knew, ha ha ha, but we're always broadcasting it. So, and Tricia says, OMG, yes. Yeah, can I get a witness? Thank you, Tricia. Tricia also says, too funny. You just told Greg that George was on his side and that you watch his body language. He was all twitching. It's exactly what we were just talking about.
It's hard to play the role of, the one who...
The victim.
That doesn't take responsibility.
The victim. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know. You're a great actor.
And pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. Now, truly, only a great actor would include the twitching.
Yeah.
That comes from the person who's claiming to be a victim who was actually the bully themselves. It takes great acting to pull that off. So good eye, Tricia. Good eye. Ha ha ha. Okay. So that was paragraph 3. Now we're going to start with paragraph 4. You,
me,
us, we, you have been chosen. I'm chosen. That's all I ever wanted to be, is chosen.
A new season finally is The Chosen.
Congratulations, you're chosen. I'm chosen. That's all any of us want to believe. I'm chosen. Yeah, well, you've been chosen, all right. You know what you've been chosen for? It's not what you think.
Take some responsibility.
Exactly. To show people how to take some freaking responsibility for your own freaking anger. That's what you've been chosen for.
Take some responsibility for your own atonement.
Exactly.
Quit saying I'm going to accept the atonement for myself. Take some responsibility for it, boy.
Exactly. Well, that's what we do. We're like, well, I will choose to be loving when they choose to be loving. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. Yeah. And say, I would be loving if they were loving. Oh yeah? Were you loving to the last one? No. I was waiting for them to be loving first also. Great. How'd that work out for you?
Many questions over the week. Well, what do you do when you're practicing truth but they're not?
Right, exactly.
That'd be like saying, well, what do you do when I'm not taking responsibility just like they're not?
Yes.
Or you
I would take responsibility for my anger, but but when they take it also, they got to take responsibility for their anger first. Yeah. And then I'll be loving, and then I will apply the truth to myself. So it says, you have been chosen to teach the truth. What truth? That you cannot be attacked. You've been chosen to teach the truth that you cannot be attacked, precisely because you have been an example of allegiance to your belief system, which means you therefore have developed the capacity for allegiance. So that's why we've been chosen to teach the truth, because we are such good examples of allegiance to a belief system, even when it's false.
And even though it's false, we're so good at it.
So
we're so
devoted.
dedicated in our allegiance
So
to it
dedicated.
that we can find evidence that's not even there.
Exactly.
That's how good we are.
Wait, that's how.
Imagine how good we're going to be when we use that same diligence and apply it to looking for evidence.
Yes.
But the evidence really is there.
Uh-huh.
Wow. We will be like, we won't be able to carry it all in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah. So
back to show what we're now teaching.
Right. So we've been chosen to teach the truth, not because we're so enlightened, but because we've been so good at being devoted and allegiant to our belief system when it wasn't even true.
Yes.
Like, dude, you have some kind of capacity to be allegiant to a belief system. Holy cow.
Dedicated.
You're dedicated. Wow, you have some kind of powers of dedication.
Total BS you were dedicated.
And for your whole life and lifetimes you were devoted to that BS untrue belief system, even when it was not true, and you got tons of evidence and you still were devoted to it. So that's why you're chosen to teach the truth, you know, because apparently you have the ability to be allegiant to a thought system. That's obvious.
Imagine if we truly accepted the truth for itself, that we couldn't be attacked, and imagine then our teaching that was 100%. All we were looking for was the evidence of how I'm supported, how I'm taken care of, how I'm nurtured, how I'm provided for, how I'm gaining, how I'm growing, how I'm not being held back, how I'm going forward.
Flourishing.
I'm just looking constantly for the evidences to support my new way of teaching, my new way of understanding. And who am I really teaching but myself? Because now as I'm applying these applications and I'm looking for what's true now that I can't be attacked, you know, I'm going to start out with a limpy leg because I'm so dedicated like a hound dog to that other way.
The old belief system.
It's hard to stop barking.
Yes, right.
You know, when a stranger walks down the street, realizing I have a new goal now to look at how I can't be attacked and how the stranger maybe is bringing me a treat.
Yes.
But I have to always be vigilant to start pulling my leash the other way, because it's been so strong the other way. And heaven, I can just hear heaven going, man, oh my God, if we could harness that dedication,
that kind of devotion that these people have to their belief system of fear, if we could just harness that level of devotion for the truth, oh my God, we could have a savior of the world.
Which is what our teacher did.
Exactly.
Our teacher did that, took that same dedication, because our teacher, being just like us, our equal.
Yeah. And also once tempted.
Man, did you see that lightning in the back?
No, I didn't. That's awesome.
So cool.
Wow, cool. I love it.
But anyway.
Yeah, I love it. Trisha says, I have been chosen to teach.
That's right.
Yeah, and Irene says, I have a new goal, which is I cannot be attacked. I love that. Beautiful. Yeah. That's your new goal.
Good way to put it.
That's a beautiful way to put that, you know, is that as much as we have been devoted to the belief that we can be attacked, if we took all the devotion that we have put to the belief we can be attacked, and we put all that devotion into learning the truth that we cannot be attacked, then literally, then you could teach that to humanity. Right. And what greater good can you do on planet Earth than to demonstrate and teach to humanity that who you are can and who they are cannot be attacked? You know?
And what greater peace could we bring to the world to demonstrate we can't be attacked?
Yeah.
And maybe that demonstration starts at the seed of just our relationship.
Yeah.
And then it grows from that into our neighborhood, into our jobs.
Yep.
into our communities, into our towns and cities, to where the world takes note that this teacher is teaching unlike the world.
In every way.
And look at their life. Man, how is their life so miraculously like it is?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean maybe you're gonna have the fruits of money. Doesn't mean you're gonna have necessarily the fruits of doing physical miracles. It doesn't mean you're gonna be the president of any PTA club. It just means that you're gonna be radically supported, and it's gonna be evident.
Amen to
and
that.
what it is that brings joy and happiness to you, whatever that is.
Exactly. You will be experiencing in your life the opposite of feeling attacked.
Feeling attacked.
You'll be like, I am so supported by my relationship, by my community, by my family, by my coworkers, by my clients. I feel so supported. I feel so appreciated. The opposite of I've been attacked is I am so appreciated. Oh my God, this feels so great.
As you know, I just finished writing that I posted last night on my Facebook page. Feel free to go and read it.
It was awesome.
If you like long readings.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But anyway, part of the core of that writing was that our experience is our belief in God. However we believe our relationship to be with God manifest in our relationships in some way. It's going to come through our home relationships, our work relationships, our job relationships, or whatever. But however we have a belief that God is, or our relationship with God, or how God's heaven operates, and how, or if there's a hell, all of those beliefs literally create a manifestation in our world of experience. And so the exciting thing is to know that you can't change what's true, but you can change what is a belief.
Yes.
I can change the belief that I can be attacked.
Hallelujah.
And even though I obviously...
Even though you're like, oh, I do feel like I've been attacked. But how does that feel? Does it feel good?
Not at all. And I obviously believe that I can be attacked right now because I'm still having the effects of it in my life.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm still blaming whatever.
You're blaming that attack on others.
On the sources of my outside world.
Yes.
It was that dog, it was that gym bag, it was that boss, it was that police officer.
It was my mate.
It was that person in the other car. It was my mate.
It was my child.
It was a million things.
A million things.
But they're all the same. They're all coming from a belief that I'm holding. And
it's
the fact
projection.
that they're showing up, they have shown up to show me what I believe. And the exciting news is to know that it's changeable and that I'm in co-creation with the change because I'm the one that makes the decision to change my beliefs.
Yes.
I'm the one that has to open my willingness in my mind to accept this idea and this concept that I can't be attacked.
And that is the ultimately radical truth. True, where it's beyond belief. That's the truth. And talk about the ultimately radical acceptance when it says you've been chosen to teach the atonement is you've been chosen to teach that you cannot be attacked. You have been chosen to teach that you cannot be attacked. Precisely because you've been so able to be devoted to a false belief system that you're the perfect candidate. It's like, it makes me think of Saul and Paul. Like, he became this great and tremendous teacher and preacher. Why? Because he had been somebody who was so devoted to his belief system, to attacking,
to defending.
He was so able to be allegiant that, that Spirit knew that he would be as equally able to be allegiant to a true thought system,
right.
Based on truth.
And demonstrate it.
And so the person who was so allegiant to the belief that he could be attacked,
and that's one of
was the ultimate teacher in teaching the opposite.
And that's one of the people Paul saw, who reportedly was bitten by a snake on this island where he had been drug off to go be questioned before the authorities. But he was bitten by the snake, and of course the local villagers, they believed that was a sign that he was evil.
Yes, right.
But the fact that he never got sick, never
died,
was bothered, and that the next morning he awoke with everybody else, then they changed their belief because of his demonstration that he couldn't be attacked.
Exactly.
They once thought he was evil, and now that belief, if they would have held on to that, then that thought of evilness would come into their experience somehow. But because of the demonstration, it cut off that belief at the neck, and now the belief was changed to he can't be attacked.
Exactly.
And now that belief effect will come into their experience.
Exactly. And so as powerful as he was in his allegiance to his belief system, that he could be attacked, or that others could be attacked by truth. Now he is a teacher equally in power, teaching the opposite. Teaching the opposite, and because we have demonstrated our ability to be so allegiant to a belief system, even if it's not true, now we're the perfect people to be the teachers of the truth. I mean, if you can be that allegiant to a belief system that's not even true, then how allegiant can you be to a belief system that is based on truth?
And works.
And works. So that's why we have been chosen to teach this truth. It's not because I'm so special, I have, I'm so special. No, it's not because you're so special. It's because you've already demonstrated that you have the ability to be allegiant to a thought system, even if it's not true. That's why we've been chosen. Right. Not because we have some special, that God loves us more. That is not why we are chosen to teach this message.
Yeah, I see in my mind, I keep seeing like a hound dog. We were on the scent of believing we can be attacked. And we just were following that scent, and now we're on a new scent.
Exactly. I love what Irene says. Sort of answers the question I have about what I've perceived about me being attacked. Completely. It completely answers the question about why and how. Why am I so persecuted by fill in the blank? My mate, my job, my boss, my body. It completely answers that question about why I have perceived myself as attacked by fill in the blank.
And the attack is definitely 100% going to feel real.
Yeah, it does. Exactly.
And because it's coming from a 100% real belief.
Yes.
Even though the belief is wrong.
Even though it's false.
The belief is creating. The belief is manifesting.
Yes. Yeah.
The belief is making all, as we said before class, all of the quantum physics molecules of atoms
coalesce.
Cooperate and show up in the way that they're supposed to bring forth your request.
That's exactly right.
And your request is your belief. And
that's
I believe in attack, and this attack comes, and now my home's been robbed, the caught on fire yesterday.
My mate left me and took the
fired
dog
from my job. And hey, this is getting
real.
It's
getting real now.
Come on now.
That's how powerful.
I just went to the doctor. You don't want to hear what they said, do you? But the attack is gonna feel 100% real because
of
the
our
belief is 100% real.
Exactly. Because the belief is 100%.
Right.
It's going to feel 100% real
100%
because your belief is 100%. And you're not questioning your belief at all.
Because you're sold out to it.
Because you're sold out for it. You're sold out for it.
You're dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're on the hunt, and you will not be satisfied until you find the evidence to support it.
Yes, I just saw the lightning.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. Beautiful. Wow, that's really powerful. That's why Paul, who became Saul, became such a great teacher because he was such a great demonstration. He had such a profound ability to be allegiant to a belief system. And that's why he was chosen to now be the messenger of the new teaching. Not because he was so special, but because that dude could be allegiant to a belief system even if it wasn't true. That guy was like, like a dog with a bone. So, what happens if we put that guy who's like a dog with a bone for illusions, if we put him on the truth?
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna be powerful.
He's gonna be our top seller.
He's gonna be our top seller for the truth. So let's get that guy.
He's gonna help awaken a lot of people because that person believed and attacked so much.
Oh, baby, he was sold out for attack.
Mm-hmm.
He was sold out for how he could be attacked and how others could be attacked by love, by truth.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of love and truth and God saying, I cast you out, I reject you, you've persecuted, blah, blah, blah. Instead of doing that, God and truth said, we can use that guy.
Mm-hmm.
We can use that guy. He's perfect for us.
And you know what? The same holds true for us because we are being so dedicated to attack. And it's evidence by just looking at the speech of our life of how we think constantly, from the government to the schools to our mates to our neighbors to our jobs to our cars to the mechanic, how we are constantly being persecuted and attacked and taken advantage of. And when none of it's true, I love the thought of a world where we come to the knowledge and understanding of the truth. Mm-hmm. A world wherein Greg finally comes to this dedication that he's not wavering anymore, back and forth, foot in, foot out, but he's got both feet in, and he's sold out to I cannot be attacked.
Hallelujah.
And then in our relationship, when I walk in the room and Anna's being silent, I'm being silent too, but I'm noticing she's being silent, and I'm not perceiving anymore of an attack because it's no longer what my belief system is. And it's evident by what I'm teaching. I'm like, oh man, she must just want some quiet time today. It's beautiful.
Or maybe she's calling for love.
So do I.
Yeah. Or maybe she's calling for love.
Whatever it might be.
Exactly.
You know you're not being attacked.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
And imagine your relationship when neither person anymore believes that they can be attacked.
Woo. Wow. Hallelujah.
I mean,
come on. Wow.
And
that changes everything.
To demonstrate that to others.
Woo.
And it will be shown. Because wherever you go, people are like, how is it that they're not ever fighting or quarreling or whatever? Well, they're not, because it's not the request that they've asked for through their belief system. Their belief system has changed. And that's why they've changed.
Yes.
And that's why their relationship has changed.
Exactly.
They didn't change
That's why everything has changed.
They didn't change their relationship.
No.
Which is what we're always trying to do.
We didn't change the form of our relationship, but I need you to stop doing this. Well, I need you to stop doing this. Okay, great. Let's agree to stop doing that. You know, in other words, we didn't change the form of our relationship. We changed something else.
Right. Instead of the belief.
Exactly. We went for the beliefs that we could be attacked to change, instead of be like, baby, you need to change. Okay, well then you need to change. Okay, I'll change if you change. Okay, here's our agreement. You change like this, I'll change like that. You know, that never works. We've all tried that. It's called compromise. It's called bargaining. It doesn't work.
And it's called having a false belief as your premise.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll just finish this paragraph right here, paragraph 4, and then we'll stop there for the evening.
All right.
It says, you've been chosen to teach the truth only because you've been such a great example of being allegiant to your thought system, even though it wasn't true. Which means you have developed such a great capacity for allegiance to a thought system. That's why you've been chosen to teach the truth, and that you can't be attacked.
It's your thought system.
Right, exactly. Now, your allegiance to a thought system has indeed been misplaced. And some individuals have become outstanding examples of allegiance to apathy. And others have become startling examples of fidelity to instability, or what we call variability. But these are forms of faith which can grow willing to redirect. But these are forms of faith which one can grow willing to redirect. Yes, I have been willing. I have been startling examples of instability, right? But you know, this is just a form of faith which I can grow willing to redirect. Okay, which means, so you cannot doubt the strength of your devotion when you consider how faithfully you have observed it. So our teacher is looking at us and saying, wow, you have amazing strength of devotion. Mm-hmm. Your ability to be devoted to something you believe is amazing. We can use you. We're going to employ you. You're the perfect person. Why? Because your ability to be devoted to something you believe is amazing. That's and then so our higher self is like, that's great. We can use that, and redirected your faith in what isn't even true can be an extremely powerful force for good, is what our teacher is saying to us. And that's why we've been chosen to teach the truth to others, that we cannot be attacked. Because we've been such great demonstrators and so devoted to the belief that we can be attacked. And that's why we're the perfect people to be the teachers of the truth that you cannot be attacked. And it says, it is quite evident that you have already developed the ability to follow a better model if you can accept a better model. So, you know, we've already developed the ability to follow a model. You know, we have followed the ego right over the cliff without even asking any questions of the ego. The ego said, come on over here, it'll be great. And we went right over the cliff with the ego. So, you know, we have developed the ability to be a good follower to a model, to a teacher. That's great. That's useful.
And to follow a better model. We thought the better model obviously was the way we were looking at it. Mm-hmm. That we could be attacked. Yep. We thought that was the better model
to follow.
Because if I follow that, then I can come up with a plan of defense. Mm-hmm. And then I won't be caught off guard. Mm-hmm. If I follow that, which I thought was the better model. Mm-hmm. But now we're being told this other model, which our ego wants to fight with us initially to say, this is not good.
It's not a better model.
This is not better to just pretend like to act stupid and pretend naive that you can't be attacked If you go acting crazy, all crazy spiritual like that, then you're going to lose. You know, people are going to take advantage of you.
You'll be following a bad model.
And so that's why it's saying that if we can accept it, it's a better model. And so can you accept it? Can I accept it? That this is the better way, that I can't be attacked. Well, I know it is the better way. It's just a matter of me going through that, like when Anna and I write, all of a sudden we get so tired we want to fall out of our chair sleeping. It's just ego defense, and it's a real deal with us because it's freaking out, and it should freak out. It really should, because it's being threatened majorly.
For real.
Because every step we take closer to awakening is to come
like
to the
threat.
realization that the ego is nothing.
And the ego experiences that as a threat as much as we would experience a threat if somebody was coming at us with a knife to kill us. That's how our ego experiences the truth that we are accepting. You know, whenever we're like, I cannot be attacked. I am as God created me. I'm not my body. I can't be attacked. The ego feels as threatened as if somebody was coming at us with a knife. That's how threatened the ego feels when we're like, I'm going to teach and accept the idea that I cannot be attacked. The ego's like, oh, but that feels like an attack. And now I'm going to attack you, Anna, my host.
Yeah, because the ego's like, well, you take away my whole philosophy.
Exactly, my whole...
Everything I believe in.
My life.
I have nothing left if we go your way.
If the ego's like, if you can't be attacked, I have no life. That's how the ego feels.
Yeah, because the ego's all about attack.
The ego's all about how I can be attacked, and my vengeance is justified, and I'm in no way responsible for their attack on me. And did I mention my vengeance is justified on them? That's the whole ego's premise.
A lot of us have heard my ego is not my omego, but all the ego is a belief.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's not some cartoon character sitting on your shoulder.
It's not the devil.
It's not the devil.
Yeah, it's just a belief.
It's just a belief.
That's all it is.
And that belief, when it feels threatened, we feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's just getting over that fear.
Yes.
Well, if I let go of that, then I don't feel like I'm going to be safe if I believe in attack.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously I can be attacked.
Obviously.
How could I give that concept up?
Right, exactly. And the ego is the belief that you can be attacked, which means the ego is the belief that you're a body.
And the encouraging thing for me is our teacher, our author of the course, demonstrated fully in the most radical way that we cannot be attacked.
Yes, amen to that.
And we can use that as a role model, and we can put trust and stock in it that, okay, all right.
Well, there you have it.
I choose to accept it. Holy Spirit, help me accept it.
Exactly.
That was it Irene that said, my goal this week is to not believe in attack. Exactly.
And notice that our teacher, when our teacher was like, well, even though I'm being murdered, literally, I still can't be attacked. That is the person that actually resurrected and came back from the dead. So, you know, the point is of this whole section that we will go deeper into next class,
Tuesday.
which will be Tuesday, is that when you accept the fact that you cannot be attacked, then even when someone tries to attack you and even kill you, then you go from the appearance of death to resurrecting.
Right.
You know, and so, and even aside from the whole like crucifixion and resurrection imagery, if somebody, in my perception, if somebody is attacking me to hurt me or kill me, and I believe and perceive that I cannot be attacked, which is true, then not only will I not be hurt or killed by that person's attack, but I will actually experience rebirth, or resurrection after that situation.
Yeah, that story.
In that story.
And that's the exciting part we're going to get to is whatever that situation that you feel like you're getting crucified in your life.
You know the one.
You're going to get the answer to how to have a resurrection in
Exactly. And that's how I first knew the power of A Course in Miracles. I was going through a relationship experience where I felt like I was being crucified. And so even though I didn't understand it or believe it, I just kept saying, I cannot be attacked. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. I remain as God created me. I just kept going on with the thought that I cannot be attacked. And not only was I not crucified by that experience, I literally resurrected and was reborn into the person you see now today. And so, we've been chosen to teach that lesson, and the lesson is I cannot be attacked. What that person thinks of me cannot hurt me. What that person does cannot hurt me. What that person thinks of me cannot hurt me. I cannot be attacked. And when you apply that truth and you apply that consistently, you will experience rebirth and resurrection from whatever seems to be trying to crucify you.
Mm-hmm. And that's the point.
And that's the point. And that is what was going on when I was like, A Course in Miracles, I think I'm going to devote my life to teaching that. Because I was experiencing an experience where I felt like I was being crucified. And not just personally, but publicly. And I applied these ideas, and not only did I not get crucified and didn't die, but I literally resurrected and was reborn into the life I have now. And that's how I knew A Course in Miracles was the path for me.
And Irene, what I was going to say is, a lot of us have heard my ego is not my omigo, and it could be better understood as my belief system.
Yes, exactly.
As you say, my ego is a silly belief system.
Yes, that's right.
Because that's all the ego is.
That's all it is.
Only a belief.
That's all it is.
All
a
the
belief.
ego is. When you hear ego, you hear Satan, you hear Lucifer, the devil.
Yep.
All you're hearing is a terminology for my belief system.
Yes.
Mine.
Yes.
Not God's, not heaven. Mine. My own made up belief system, which is not true. And luckily that belief system can be changed.
Hallelujah.
From a lie to what is true.
Exactly.
What
Amen
a great section.
What an amazing section. I mean, in terms of relationships and transforming relationships, wow, this is it. Because the big deception in our relationships that turns our relationships from a miracle into hell is our belief that we can be attacked. For real. Demi says, I recall being mentally paralyzed over stupid thoughts for days. No more. Me too. Literally, just like this thought that I can't even, just for days being mentally and emotionally paralyzed over something that wasn't even true. I mean, wow. We've all done it. We've all done it. So, you guys, we're going to stop here, and we will pick back up on Tuesday, and we'll pick back up on paragraph 5 in the original edition. I love it. Tricia says, I am born to teach. Yes, you're going to teach whatever it is that you believe. Bridget says, it is a belief system, but I need some strategies not to get sucked into. Yes, sucked in. And thank you for saying that, Bridget. And that's exactly what A Course in Miracles is. It's a whole book of strategies for not getting sucked into a false belief system called, I've been attacked, and so my revenge is justified, and I'm in no way responsible for this. I'm a victim. The Course in Miracles is nothing but 100% a book of strategies to not get sucked into the victim consciousness and the justification for anger.
And I love how all of us can be teachers because all of us have believed in false
Yes.
belief system.
I'm very devoted to it.
And we've all been very devoted to it.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
way more than others.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
look at their life and their teaching.
Totally.
But imagine they come over, you know, to
Yes.
teaching the truth.
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
And so,
Exactly.
thank God we all have a part to play.
Amen to that.
Love you
All
guys.
right. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. We just love you and adore you. Appreciate you.